Imagine a struggling carpenter measuring wood in a dusty Los Angeles garage, completely unaware that the cabinets he is building will soon lead him to the cockpit of the most famous spaceship in cinematic history. He never auditioned for fame, never chased the Hollywood spotlight, and openly admits that he finds the machinery of celebrity to be utterly exhausting. Yet, this profoundly reluctant man became the definitive face of the two most beloved and lucrative franchises in the history of entertainment, redefining the archetype of the action hero for generations. This is the extraordinary reality of an actor who conquered the world not by manufacturing a glamorous persona, but by bringing a rugged, unpolished, and deeply authentic humanity to every frame. His journey from a stuttering child in the American Midwest to the last true titan of the classic Hollywood studio system is a masterclass in perseverance, proving that genuine charisma cannot be taught, only lived. The genesis of this unparalleled cinematic journey began in the summer of 1942 in the bustling, industrial heart of Chicago, Illinois. Born to a former radio actor and a homemaker, his early environment was distinctly middle class and entirely devoid of showbiz glamour. As a young boy, he struggled with a severe stutter, a challenge that could have easily sidelined his future in any performance-based field. However, through sheer determination and rigorous vocal exercises, he actively trained himself to overcome the speech impediment. This early battle inadvertently forged his signature delivery. A deliberate, measured, and slightly gruff cadence that would later become one of his most recognizable and imitated trademarks. He attended Maine East High School and later Ripon College in Wisconsin, where he was an entirely average student until he stumbled into a college acting class. The immediate thrill of stepping into another person's shoes ignited a latent passion, prompting him to move to Los Angeles in the late 1960s to pursue a professional acting career. His initial years in Hollywood were defined by profound frustration and systemic rejection. After signing a standard contract with Columbia Pictures, he was quickly deemed lacking the conventional leading man look by studio executives. He was relegated to minor, forgettable roles in low-budget films and television episodes, struggling to make a living while watching less talented peers achieve stardom. Faced with the very real need to support his growing family, Ford made a highly pragmatic decision that would ironically alter the course of film history. He became a professional carpenter. He honed his woodworking skills, built custom cabinets, and established a reputation for reliability and craftsmanship. This period of manual labor was far from a detour. It grounded him, instilling a blue-collar work ethic and a deep disdain for pretension that would forever shield him from the toxic ego traps of the entertainment industry. The fateful intersection of his carpentry and his acting ambitions occurred in the early 1970s, when he was hired to build a recording studio in the offices of a young, visionary director named George Lucas, and later, to construct doors for the renowned Francis Ford Coppola. While working on these sets, Ford was occasionally asked to read lines with actors who were auditioning for Lucas and Coppola's projects. His deadpan, naturalistic, and utterly unpretentious delivery while reading the sides immediately caught the attention of the directors. Lucas, in particular, was struck by Ford's ability to make even mundane dialogue sound authentic and lived in. When it came time to cast a cynical, fast-talking smuggler for a risky space opera project, Lucas initially resisted hiring Ford, fearing he would typecast a man he had already used in a previous film. However, Ford's undeniable screen presence during the read-throughs was impossible to ignore, and he was ultimately cast as Han Solo. The release of Star Wars in the summer of 1977 triggered a cultural earthquake that permanently altered the global entertainment landscape. Ford's portrayal of Han Solo was a revelation. He was not a shining, flawless knight in armor. He was a self-interested, sarcastic rogue with a hidden heart of gold, navigating a galaxy of danger with a blaster and a smirk. His chemistry with his co-stars was electric, and his instinctive, improvisational approach to scenes brought a vital sense of realism to the fantastical setting. The film became a monumental, record-shattering phenomenon, and Ford was instantly transformed from an unknown carpenter into a global superstar. Yet, despite the overwhelming adoration and the massive financial windfall, he remained characteristically grounded, viewing the role as simply a good job well done rather than a life-defining mystical event. Just as he was navigating the sudden onset of massive fame, Ford embarked on a collaboration that would cement his legendary status. In 1981, he reunited with George Lucas and a young, energetic director named Steven Spielberg to bring a pulp adventure archaeologist to life. Indiana Jones was a role that required a unique blend of intellectual charm, physical agility, and world-weary vulnerability. Ford brought a bruised, relatable humanity to the character, making the audience believe that this history professor could genuinely survive brawls, traps, and gunfire. The iconic fedora, the leather jacket, and the bullwhip became extensions of Ford's own physicality. The massive success of Raiders of the Lost Ark and its sequels proved that Ford was not a one-dimensional sci-fi actor, but the premier action-adventure star of his generation, capable of carrying massive blockbuster spectacles with effortless authority. However, Ford was acutely aware of the dangers of typecasting and actively fought to prove his dramatic range. He sought out complex, morally ambiguous roles that challenged both him and the audience. In 1982, he starred in a visually groundbreaking, philosophically dense science fiction noir, playing a burnt-out Blade Runner tasked with hunting down artificial humans. The film was initially a commercial disappointment, but has since been recognized as one of the most influential and profound works of speculative fiction ever committed to celluloid. He followed this with a stunning dramatic turn in 1985, earning his first and only Academy Award nomination for his portrayal of a tough Philadelphia detective who must hide within a pacifist Amish community to protect a young murder witness. His ability to convey deep internal conflict, tenderness, and moral awakening with minimal dialogue showcased a masterful control of the cinematic medium. Throughout the 1990s and early 2000s, Ford solidified his reputation as the ultimate anchor of the intelligent thriller. He starred in a string of critically acclaimed and commercially successful films, including a gripping legal drama about a prosecutor accused of murder, a tense adaptation of a Tom Clancy espionage novel, and a relentless cat-and-mouse chase film where he played a wrongfully convicted doctor seeking to clear his name. In each of these roles, he brought a towering sense of credibility. Audiences believed him as a lawyer, a CIA analyst, and a medical professional because Ford approached every character with the same meticulous preparation and blue-collar dedication he applied to building a bookshelf. He became the go-to actor for directors who needed a protagonist that the audience would instantly trust, follow, and root for, regardless of the complexity of the plot. Beyond the silver screen, Ford's true sanctuary and greatest passion has always been the sky. Long before it was a celebrity trend, he earned his private and commercial pilot licenses, developing a profound, lifelong love affair with aviation. Flying became his ultimate escape from the suffocating pressures of Hollywood, offering him a sense of absolute freedom and control. He has owned and flown numerous aircraft, ranging from vintage World War II fighters to modern helicopters. His dedication to flying has not been without severe peril. He has survived multiple harrowing aviation accidents, including a terrifying emergency landing on a golf course, and a more recent mid-air collision. Yet, each time, his resilience and refusal to be grounded have been absolute. He views these incidents not as reasons to quit, but as inherent risks of a life lived fully and passionately on his own terms. His personal life has been equally complex, marked by a deep desire for privacy and normalcy despite his global fame. He has been married 3 times, including a long marriage to screenwriter Melissa Matheson, who penned the classic film E.T. The Extraterrestrial. He is known for being a fiercely devoted father to his children, often prioritizing family time over industry events and red carpet obligations. In Hollywood, he has cultivated a reputation for being grumpy, impatient, and notoriously blunt during interviews. However, those who work with him understand that this demeanor is not genuine malice, but rather a profound intolerance for incompetence, wasted time, and the superficiality of the fame machine. He respects the craft of filmmaking above all else, and his occasional on-set friction usually stems from a desire to maintain the highest possible professional standards. Furthermore, Ford has leveraged his immense platform for significant environmental advocacy. As a longtime vice chair of Conservation International, he has traveled extensively to remote regions of the world, particularly the Amazon rainforest, to document environmental destruction and advocate for indigenous rights. He uses his celebrity not to sell products, but to draw global attention to the urgent climate crisis, demonstrating a deep, abiding commitment to the preservation of the natural world. This off-screen dedication adds a profound layer of substance to his public persona, proving that his rugged individualism is paired with a strong sense of global responsibility. As he has entered his 8th decade, Ford has experienced a remarkable late-career renaissance, proving that his star power remains undiminished. He has courageously returned to his most iconic roles, bringing a weathered, poignant depth to Han Solo in the modern Star Wars sequels, and donning the fedora one last time for a final Indiana Jones adventure. These performances were not mere cash grabs, but thoughtful, emotionally resonant reflections on aging, legacy, and the passage of time. Simultaneously, he has surprised audiences by showcasing his brilliant, dry comedic timing in a critically acclaimed television series, playing a grieving therapist who forms an unlikely bond with a young patient. This willingness to experiment, to be vulnerable, and to share the screen with younger generations of actors demonstrates an artist who is still deeply in love with the process of storytelling. The legacy of this extraordinary man is permanently etched into the cultural DNA of the world. He is the rare actor who defined the blockbuster era without ever losing his soul to it. He built an empire of cinematic dreams with the same calloused hands that once built cabinets in Los Angeles. From the quiet suburbs of Chicago to the furthest reaches of the galaxy and the deepest jungles of adventure, his journey is a profound testament to the power of authenticity, hard work, and unwavering self-possession. He did not just play heroes, he embodied a specific, rugged kind of American decency and resilience that audiences have craved for half a century. Harrison Ford remains the last of his kind. A true movie star who never wanted to be one, and in doing so, became utterly, magnificently irreplaceable.